Almost feels like equivalent to how I would think drugs, I don't know, like some kind of drugs would feel if I had ever tried drugs, the way that people explain it, that like kind of endorphin high or whatever, like it just, it sounds crazy, but hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. Today I'm going to be talking about anxiety and insomnia. Anxiety. What is anxiety? I couldn't even define it for you. I kind of knew a general definition before I experienced it, but thinking about something in theory versus actually doing it or having it happen to you in real life are two very different things. So I don't even know where to begin with anxiety. I guess we'll begin when I started getting it. So about 4 months ago, as some of you probably already know, I made a big move from New Mexico to Oregon. And right before I moved here, I also got married. I was experiencing some very big life changes all at once. So when I finally started noticing that something was wrong, was every time I would try to go to sleep, I felt my heart beat so hard and so fast, it literally felt like it was going to jump out of my body. And so I was thinking, something's wrong, like I must have like an enlarged heart or a hole in my heart, or I don't know, I have some kind of heart problems is the first conclusion I jumped to. So I got online and I just searched for heart palpitations because I figured that was the name for it the more I searched. And a lot of people said, you probably have anxiety. But I went to my health doctor, I did tell him about my symptoms and he said, yes, it sounds like you're suffering from anxiety. What I ended up doing, because I don't like to take the medication, if I don't have to take medication, I won't. I'll try to find another way around it. My mom was a homeopath, so that's kind of where I got this mindset from before I became vegan. I went back and I remembered the last time that I was really stressed and what I did about it. I had a friend in New Mexico who was having panic attacks, and she also had gotten into a car accident, so she was having some physical problems. She asked me one day, she was like, hey, do you want to go with me to get acupuncture? And I was just like, I don't really think I need it, but sure, like I'll tag along and I'll support you. And I try to be very open-minded. If I haven't tried something before, like if it doesn't sound dangerous or like it's gonna harm me, I'm like, sure, why not try it? Like, what do I have to lose? I ended up going with her, and since I didn't have any like physical symptoms, they said, I think there was a list that said, you know, you could do it for stress, anxiety, all this stuff. So when I went for my consultation, I told them, I'm really stressed at work, so, you know, I've never tried acupuncture and I'm coming for a friend, so let's aim for that. And I remember after I left the acupuncture appointment, I felt, I don't know, it felt like my soul was like liberated. I just felt happy. I felt like everything was going to be okay. I've always remembered that, even though that was years ago. Now in Oregon, I just decided to research acupuncturists, and you know, I'm not working right now, so I was trying to find one that was affordable, and then I found a community one, and I had done the community one before, and it's basically where everybody's on this, there's a room full of lazy boy chairs, I guess you can say, and then you can prop up your feet and you can lay back, and you know, they put the needles in and you just relax. Today is Wednesday, hump day. I am super excited because every Wednesday I go to acupuncture. So I do it once a week for myself right now. When I first started, I had to do it twice a week, and now I'm down to once a week. Anyone who hasn't had acupuncture, I know it can look really scary. I mean, whoever thought about putting needles on your body? It doesn't really sound like fun, right? And I don't want to say that it doesn't hurt per se. To me, it's more just like a little prick. Like it doesn't really hurt, but there are some spots that are more sensitive, I think, on our bodies than others. So sometimes I'll be like, ooh, I felt that one. But it's not like, ow, that like really hurt. But I don't know, I'm sure it's different for everybody. But it's not something that I was afraid to go back to after because I thought it was gonna hurt. I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna feel so good afterwards. Anyway, I decided to go to the acupuncturist for the first time, and I had a, you know, initial consultation, and I explained my anxiety, and they asked me a bunch of like health related questions. And after that, we got started. So I've been going back to the same acupuncturist. I know what day she works because I started with her from the beginning. She knows my symptoms, my case, and she puts the needles in the exact same place all over my body. And people have asked me, like, where do you get them for anxiety? And it's all over. They'll put it on the top of your head, and then they'll put some on my forehead, my hand, my wrist, my legs, my feet, inside my ear, on my neck. And I'm telling you, I don't understand how acupuncture works. I don't even know if there's a science behind it. I don't think it's been proven to work, but let me tell you, it works for me. I feel such a major difference after I do it. And I don't know how to explain how it feels. It's like I lay there, I relax, I close my eyes, and I'm usually there for about an hour. Whenever I feel like I need to open my eyes is when I get up and I take the needles out. But I swear it almost feels like equivalent to how I would think drugs, I don't know, like some kind of drugs would feel if I had ever tried drugs, the way that people explain it, that like kind of endorphin high or whatever. Like it sounds crazy, but it feels amazing. And I'm telling you, if you've ever been interested and you want to try it, definitely try it and let me know what your experience was like. Along with acupuncture, I also started meditating, which is something that my acupuncturist did suggest that I try alongside acupuncture in order to kind of curb my anxiety. So I have just a free app on my phone, and there's a bunch of free apps you can do for meditation, and it's just a few minutes a day. And I'm telling you that 3 or 5 minutes makes the world of difference. And I just feel more calm, and I feel in control, and I don't feel as fearful. Some other symptoms I was having besides the heart palpitations was this overwhelming fear of like doom, panic, whenever I would have to leave my house essentially. If I had to go to the grocery store, if I had to walk my dogs, like any daily menial task, I just felt so uncomfortable, so scared. And I'm already an introvert, so I like to be at home, and I feel socially awkward when I interact with other people, but this was like to a whole new level of just feeling awkward going outside and just feeling scared of everyone and everything. And when we were driving out here, the few days that we took on our road trip to drive here, like I swear I felt like when I was driving on a highway that I was going to crash and die. Like no real reason, like I was driving fine, but like I felt like I almost mentally could not handle the stress. And that's what anxiety feels like for me. And I actually haven't had any friends or anybody else who's been going through this that was close to me, so I didn't have anyone to talk to at this time, which made it more difficult. But you know, along with, like I said, acupuncture and meditation, and of course along with eating a healthy diet of fruits and vegetables, I didn't think that that would affect my mood, but it actually affects mood. And so for insomnia, I'm a late night owl anyways. I'm not an early morning person. I like to stay up late. That's just how I've always been. But even when it got to like 1, 2 o'clock and I knew I needed to be asleep, I still couldn't fall asleep. So my doctor had recommended some supplements. This one's called Somnipure, a natural sleep aid that, you know, just has some like root extracts. And this was a supplement I was taking, you know, for the first few weeks until it ended. And this really helped me relax and fall asleep. And then when that ran out, I went to something else that I had bought previously, and it's called valerian root. And this one I found just at like a health food grocery store. And this one actually makes me feel calm. I used it once just during the day, and I felt like an immediately kind of sense of calm. And it's almost how you feel like when you drink a warm cup of tea or you take a hot bath, you just feel kind of like relaxed. But now I take it before bed, and that's been helping me too. And I feel like once this runs out, I won't need anything to help me kind of calm down and get to sleep. The acupuncture and the meditation, I feel like I'm kind of training my mind not to get rid of thoughts, but just to kind of observe them from a distance and let them go when I need to, or, you know, think about them when I need to, but not panic when I have those thoughts. So sometimes I'm out in public and I'm just doing, you know, my everyday thing, and I'll start to feel those feelings of anxiety just like creep up. And then without even really trying, I feel like I can also, I don't know, meditation, I don't really know how that works either. I feel like I may not even be doing it right, but I do the guided meditations where they tell you, they guide you through it by talking. I feel like subconsciously, somehow my brain's been trained to just be like, it's okay. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing acupuncture, probably at least till the end of this year, and then I'll reevaluate how I'm feeling, if I feel like I still need it or not. Speaking of acupuncture, I actually need to leave right about this time so that I can go make my appointment. And then I will check in after to let you know how I'm feeling. So, see you soon. Okay, I'm back. I'm all done. And I didn't film in there because, of course, it's a community acupuncture, so it's a room full of people. If it was a private session that was just me, I would definitely have taken you guys along. I now feel so refreshed and rejuvenated and just ready to tackle whatever I need to tackle. I can always tell when it's been a while and everything from the week piles up, and by the time I get there I'm just like, oh, I needed this. This is the best. Luckily I don't have a problem with needles. I've, you know, had blood drawn, I've even had plasma drawn, and needles just don't bother me. I have a tattoo, so yeah, I just don't watch whenever they insert the needles, and the needles are like maybe this big. They're not too big and they don't go in very deep. It's like the weirdest feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but every time I'm having acupuncture and my eyes are closed, I feel like I'm awake but not awake at the same time. I don't even know what that means, but like I can hear everything that's going on in the room. I can hear people entering or exiting, and I can hear sounds, but at the same time I feel like I'm almost asleep. So there were a couple times I was pretty sure I may have started snoring, so then I had to like kind of wake myself up, so I almost couldn't get like fully 100% relaxed because I was afraid of falling asleep and snoring. So if you're in Eugene and you're looking for a place, Acupuncture for the People is where I go. They have a sliding scale. It starts at $15 to $40, just depending on what you can afford to pay. And it's such a serene environment. Every time I go in, it's so nice. Like, it's very quiet. People normally talk in a low voice, or they whisper when they're in the room getting, you know, the needles put in. They have these little tiny water fountains, so you kind of just hear the sound of water, which always relaxes me. And they play really soft music that's usually just like a little piano in the background, so it's the perfect setting. And for someone like me, I find it hard to fall asleep even in hotels or other places that aren't my home or even at my home. So to be able to almost fall asleep there means that it's the perfect relaxation spot. And of course, I think acupuncture has a lot to do with who you go to, if you're comfortable with them, if you trust them. The lady I go to, she's super nice, gentle, she's just very easy to talk to, and she has a very calming presence. I went to another place once and I had this guy who I didn't really feel any kind of connection with, and I swear I felt like I was his voodoo doll, and he just was poking me like a pincushion. He's like, doot, 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 done. And it hurt, I was uncomfortable, didn't like it. And if I would have had him my first time going to acupuncture, I'm pretty sure I never would have went back. But luckily I got a really, really great person, acupuncturist, that I go to, so I'm gonna keep coming back.